Hey everyone. Alrighty. So it's been a little bit since I've gotten to come back in this space. Since a few factors. Obviously having COVID, not a fun one. Second thing was it was really cold in here. So I stayed away from this space. So today what we are going to do, pick up where I kind of left off on these pieces. This is just like a little foam thing that honestly, maybe it held a tablet. I don't know what it held, but I had saved it for packing packages, but then I saw it and I thought this will help me in my craft space, so I snagged it for that. So here's our pieces we worked on. We definitely got some rough edges going on, some runoff. This is sticky on the back due to the tape, and I think it just didn't cure fully. We've got rough up here that definitely will get domed, but I'm going to clean up some of the edges before we do that. So we have our Dremel and just the sanding one. I put the napkin down just to try to help keep dust down and not on my actual mat. And then I'm just basically hitting these edges that are roughed up and sharp. And it's just going to be harder to talk when that's going. There was a piece that flew off that. I think it went in my hair actually. So I would suggest, I wear glasses just because I can't see without them. I would suggest that you wear some kind of protective goggle if you've got some pretty big edges that need to come off. So this guy looks pretty good. There are a couple spots up here. I'm just going to go ahead and hit so that when I dome it, it will be easier. I'm not worried about it getting all scuffed up because when we put UV resin on it, it's going to get that cleaned right up. And I just feel it. It's all about feel. I would be careful though to not do too much pressure with your finger. If you have a sharp piece, you could definitely slice your finger open. But I'm just checking for rough edges where I might need to go. As you can see, this gets super, super dusty. It's really nasty. Another reason why as I'm grinding, I'm not speaking, just to protect myself from not eating all that dust. little roughed up here, so. Oh, much better. Huh? We're getting there. This guy's pretty funky too. But you can see how quickly that came off of there. That's the one that didn't cure so great on the back, so I decided I'd rough it up a little bit more on the back side, which that worked. That one went pretty fast. I say that. That one's better. Okay. So you see that that looks really cloudy. I'm not worried about that. I'll show that when that's done. So this one, I want to show you guys a different technique on him really quick. Oh, so dusty. So if you have, this guy's just got quite a bit and it's pretty thin. So you could potentially just take a pair of good scissors and just trim some of that excess off so that you're not grinding all that thickness down, all that excess. So that will speed it up. You could also potentially take an X-Acto knife and do it if you had a good surface to cut on so that you're not cutting up your workspace. But that kind of helped get that cleaned up a little bit faster than grinding it all the way. So now we'll go back to this. down to this guy. This guy has some things in here. That's going to be kind of fun to get to. I'm going to turn it up a speed just to get this cleaned up. Okay, so on here, these got even a little bit when I was trying to get in there. The knobs here got a little shaved off, so I'm gonna, to make it more look like it was meant to be that way. Like not perfect circles. I'm doing that one, and I'm gonna hit this one up a little too. Nothing crazy on that, but just to make it look kind of like, I don't think anybody will notice because one will be on each ear, but just to make that look more natural, I suppose. And I will drill out those holes so it will even look better then. So as you can see, super dusty. I'm just going to take that right off of my space. This does charge by a USB charger. USB on one side, and I don't know what that port is, but it comes with its own charger. So I probably need to charge it. I could definitely tell. Usually I can use just like level 1 and be fine, but that was definitely needed a little bit more than level 1 to get these. The spray bottle that I just used is just water. So that one is strictly water in it. I am just wiping some of this excess dust that's on these off. You can tell already, like, just even with the water, they shine up a little bit. And when we do the actual resin, it's going to shine even more. I'm really excited about these. Super excited. I keep thinking there's like a flaw in the resin here, but it's the stem of this flower, which is really pretty. But it keeps catching my eye. And I think, oh no, I did something wrong, but I really didn't. That's fine. Okay. Whew. That was nice and lovely. I'm just going to clean the Dremel up just a little bit. Just because it even got really dusty. I'm going to switch over to the drill bit really quick and drill out the few holes that need done. Just while it's... I'll move things around again, y'all. Okay. Well, they're not so big. Okay, so you turn this on, you hold this down, and you untwist, and this will open this guy up. Sure will. I don't know if that will stay. I'll pull that apart. So, that might not work. No, we're going to go smaller. So I have this piece, which is going to go into this one. So there is our gold. Here's our black piece that helps tighten that gold. Before we tighten it though, we are going to put our drill bit in there, and then we will tighten this all the way. Now our drill bit can't come out, and when we do that, we have a drill bit. So, do not want to do this on our surface here because it would go through. So if you're going to drill a hole, you want to have some sort of surface. I have used a cork before, a wine cork. That works really well. Those ones all look fine. I should have looked at which ones needed it. But since I have this black thing, this will work. These ones could have used the bigger bit, but that's okay. And I found the side that has the hole not filled, and then I'm able to break through and then kind of come back from the other side and clean that up. That one does not want to go through. And I'm just getting in here where the Dremel couldn't a little bit around those edges, and let's clean that up so much better. Okay. So there's that. So you got to see that little side of things. All that gross dust I'm throwing into the garbage bag. See? No worse for the wear. Alrighty. Alright, let's see here. We are going to go to the next step. So, I have my Let's Resin dual lighted UV resin lamp. It's just not sitting very straight, which I don't know why. This is the tray that comes with that, so working off of it because it will allow us to just shift those right into you, which is perfect. We are going to get some UV resin tape. I am going to do this. Of course, as soon as you touch it, you're going to put fingerprints on it. Not a big deal. And then you can't get unstuck, y'all. Okay, let's get our... These are a plastic. Oh my goodness, can't think of the word. Popsicle stick. And I like those because it just, I use this for mixing actual resin, but I've seen people do this with the tape and they use regular popsicles, which is fine. Popsicle sticks, which is fine. I like my plastic ones, plus they're a little bit bigger. I've enjoyed using them. So, but if you don't have any of those yet, regular popsicles will work. And all it's doing is just giving us some gripping. So now we've got some grippers and help us not get stuck to the tape constantly. But what I want to do is stick these on our tape. And I'm going to do this one kind of upside down so that I'm going to use the best of it. I do have another one already made, so I could use that. And I'm going to start with these sides because it's just the sides that I put up. Here's our UV resin. And it is getting low, but don't fret. We have another bottle. And then I'm just going to put a little drop on it, because I don't want to get carried away and have this like run over again. I just want to spread a nice thin little layer. On this one I'm just doing nice little drop line here. I might have just filled my hole in, but that's okay because I did go ahead and clean that up. It's got a big old clob on this. So this I'm going to put just a little bit of the rubbing alcohol so that when I wipe off this tip I can actually catch that clob and not have to worry about it. Okay. Then silicone brush, and we already have these flowers making that resin go off the side. So this one is going to be a lot of work to get it where it needs to be. And I'm a perfectionist when it comes to these things. So this one, you'll probably see this set of earrings in several videos, even when we go on to other different types and styles, just because it's going to take a lot of extra love to get them done. Just because these flowers are not flat, didn't fit quite right, they're creating a lot of height in some areas, dips in others. It's going to take a while to get that resin built up and get it built up and it be clean looking, because you're going to get runoff like that happening. So, not overly worried. Everything is fixable, no matter what it might be. You just got to get creative. Sometimes these things, you're just going to take a little bit longer than maybe we would like or would expect. So you just want to know that's okay. It's all a learning process. And it's probably something like I won't use that mold again for that, or if I do, those particular earrings are just going to have to be pricier or something to help compensate for the extra time that they take. And then they may not sell. So, you know, that would just be something you would need to adjust if you're selling. Or if you're just doing it for fun and doing it for yourself or for family and friends, and you're not worried about it and it gives you peace, then absolutely. And that's, honestly, I don't sell right now, but that's just because I can't add that portion into it. This is just so, for me, just peaceful to work with. So I gift a lot of things. I make things specifically for people. And then, honestly, I'm just building maybe some inventory once I get to that level of selling. Okay, so those have a layer. So we're going to slide this tray right into our light and lamp. This one goes for 2, 3, and 5 minutes. If you haven't watched the other videos, that's why I'm repeating that. This one I used in the last video, so it's a little wonky, but we're going to use it for these. And get my whole hand stuck. And sorry if I cleared my throat several times. This is the fun of having had COVID, and it's the congestion in the throat just lingers. Alright, so I'm going to stand up, make sure that I'm still within view. I don't want to be in the runoff of that light per se, because it will start curing these if I'm too close. It still may start to try to cure a little bit, and it could make your UV resin very tacky and sticky and like stringy. It's not fun to work with that, so that's why I made sure I moved down a little bit, but I wanted to make sure I was still on the screen for you. Again, and you can see the back sides of these, of course, are still roughed up, but these tops are shining up very nicely. I really like these ones right here. They might be some of my faves. And again, it's just going to take some time, but just working it over with the silicone brush, it's like painting. If you painted before, that's kind of what you're doing, except you're moving the resin around. I didn't check for bubbles on those others. When I was sanding, I could see some bubbles had been in and cured within the resin. They're actually really pretty, so I wasn't super worried about that at this level that I'm at, I guess. Of course, if that's a concern of yours, you can absolutely run your little ladder over it, check for bubbles, see if you see any. More than anything, I'm just trying to help build in between these good old flowers that we have. Alright, so 2 minutes is up. What I love about this lamp is that it is double-sided, so you are getting a cure from the back side and you're getting a cure from the top side. You're not just getting one-sided. And it has definitely been a game changer for me. I find 2 minutes is sufficient. These are nice and solid just with that 2 minutes. There's no concern of that not being hardened. And I can see there were probably some bubbles in that one, but again, I already had some bubbles, so I'm letting that just naturally be. These ones too. These ones and those other ones are just pretty stunning. So, because we know that these are going to take us forever and a moon, let's go. Oh, there was a big old bubble that just, we're going to have to pop him. He will not get to stay. He's not welcome to this party. So he will have to go. But the little micro ones, like on these, I'm fine with. I'm going to do one more layer on this. This guy definitely needs it because he's still just a little rough up there with that blue teal flower. And I'll probably run the lighter over this round just because, at least on these, just because that was definitely putting out more bubbles than, and there's a big one on there that I can see. I know that doesn't always come through well on video, but just because it's hard. This little guy, we need some, I can tell that I can go behind the petals there, so I was just trying to get a little bit more in and worked in there. He might need one more layer on this. Y'all miss these. Maybe. Oh, goodness. Sorry. Yeehaw. Alright. These ones I'm not super worried about. Like I said, it's more just trying to get this built up and get this more even. This one's pretty rough. There's patches that are super rough, and there's patches that I'm like, oh, I'm so close. But I'm like, oh, I'm not really that close. Okay. And my ladder. Somewhere in my mess, I have got to clean this table, but I'd rather craft than clean it. So when you're using the ladder, you do not want to go too much on your resin because you could burn it. I noticed that we're just missing a little bit in this corner so that it would have had a divot, which I could have filled in, but since I caught it, we'll fill it in. But you do not want to go too close because you can burn the resin. You can actually catch it on fire. I've come close to doing that. I really don't want to experience catching it on fire, so. And that's not fun to do. And I think I was saying this earlier, but this is 2, 3, or 5 minutes. 2 minutes is more than good, I am finding, for this stage of things. So that's just kind of what I'm going with. These ones are really close to probably getting flipped and doing the other side. But I can still feel just a little bit of the flowers, so I want to give it one more good coat on this side before we do the other side. And then these ones are really close too. That's exciting. These are really pretty actually too. They're all pretty. I can't decide. It's like deciding which child is your favorite. I can't decide which one of my creations is my fave. All right. Ooh. Okay. Yeah, this one I let go too far. Darn it. I was afraid of that. These ones are getting very domed, and so when you're getting that, it's a really pretty look. But it's easier for that resin to just fall right off. So I'm just wiping some of that on there so that I can clean that up a little bit, and it's going to fall off over here. So I'll probably have a little bit of cleanup on those. They're not going to be bad though. Oh, they're just so pretty. I kind of like the white backgrounds even. Although I think, I don't know, maybe this is the right setup. It's like maybe the other side is the right setup. I don't know. This is the setup on these for sure. The little gold flecks in this one, these ones are really pretty. Oh, that might have been a little too close to the lamp. If you can see, it's getting a little stringy. Not bad enough that I would need to scrape it off, but it's close. So definitely be careful of that. Oh, I rolled over here too. Darn it. I was doing so good. And then I just, you know, had my little moment here. Woo. Okay. Gracious. Alright. So, this one coming out. We kind of have a good rhythm here. I know that a lot of times I get bored because I'm waiting for one to cure. And it hasn't cured up all the way. And so I'm like sitting there twiddling my thumbs, and I'm not the most patient person. But this has kind of been a good rhythm. Okay. Let's see what we have here. And I wiped this on my paper towel that has some alcohol on it, rubbing alcohol. And that just helps clean it. Yeah, these ones, I think this guy might need just like one more round. But this one I think is good. So I'll probably just keep him on there for now. Let, getting closer. Yeah, they are. I'll probably keep him on there just to let him get one more hit under the light that way. And I'll probably do this for 3 minutes just for the fact of letting that fully set up before I flip them. And you know what? Just for good measure, I'm going to put just like the thinnest layer on it. I couldn't resist. If I'm doing it on the other, I feel like I need to just at least do a thin layer. So, painting this on. Oh yeah, gonna be so pretty. Oh, I think this will do it with this one. Yeah, it's looking good. Ew, we're running off into that. I got a little bit excited with this one and did a little much, but it'll be okay. If you can fix it as you go, great. But if you end up with like what we have here, this is cured up over here, that's okay. Oh, we cured up right there too. I didn't even catch that one. Oh, I gotta be too close to that light because that got really stringy. Again, not enough that I'm gonna remove it. But I can definitely tell. So I really gotta be conscious of that. Okay. And I'm going to scoot this light back just a little bit. I think y'all can still see enough of it to understand what's going on. I'm going to do 3 minutes just before I flip those other ones. I want that to be nice and super solid before I flip it and accidentally have it get tacky or something. Oh, we might have to go to a new bottle soon. Although I think there's still quite a bit in here. UV resin goes so far. Very little goes a long ways. So you don't need a super ton. And that's another reason why I love it, because you can get so many projects out of it. Whereas if you're doing molds and bigger pours, you can go through some resin really, really fast. Especially if you're doing bigger molds. Even coasters use quite a bit of resin just to get certain looks. So yeah, you can end up going through some serious resin really, really fast. Tumblers do, because you do lots of layers on them. So you can end up going through quite a bit quickly. But UV resin, and granted y'all, I didn't put any on these. I remembered that. I just got distracted. Oh, I don't even know what I was going to say. Oh, goodness. My brain here. Like, I'm tired. UV resin. Oh, granted, I'm not crafting every day. I wish I could. I wish I could craft all day and night. But I'm not. I work a full-time 40+ hour job, so like I'm not in my craft space every day. I've got 2 kids that keep me obviously busy when I'm not working. A little bit more about me since I went down this avenue is I've got 2 kids. One's a teenager, and they're both girls, by the way. One's a teenager now, and the other one is getting ready to turn 9 in March, so that's exciting. But we also have 3 cats and 2 dogs, which if you've listened to some of the earlier videos, you'll hear my puppy dogs in there. At some point I'll share more about my life and I have kind of a wild journey, I would say, thus far. So I laugh. Sometimes I feel like I've lived several different books in one life in my time on this world. So it's a little bit wild. We'll get into that at some point. Because obviously, you know, as you start watching some of these, you can see it's the same process. I'm just repeating the process. We're just doing the same thing over and over until we get it where we want it to be. Alright, so this one I'm going to do 3 minutes as well, because I do believe these two are about ready to be flipped. The one negative thing that I would say about this light is that that tray is very sensitive about how it goes in. That's the only thing I can really say negative about that light. Alright, so pull that off. And I'm just going to flip it over. Granted, I'm not going to need... I've got a fingerprint on there. Oh, these are really pretty though. I even like how the scuffed up back kind of makes the flowers pop. But I want to clean that up. I'm going to clean it up still. Okay. I think I'm going to do these without the tape and see how it goes. There is some UV resin that fell in between these two. And I was hoping it would be cured enough that I could just kind of work it out of there and snap it off, but it might need to. I think if that were to set up for 24 hours, I'd probably be able to snap it right off. Oh, there we go. I just had to get in there a little bit better. One thing I forgot to mention when I was sanding is, if you noticed, I was very conscious of where my fingers were holding, just to ensure that I didn't sand my finger or my hand, because yeah, that would definitely skin you up pretty good, especially at those higher speeds that I was using it at. Hope that I'm not. Yep, and I did a little damage on the front because I was getting in a hurry to get this little bit out. So, guess what? At least it's on the one that is still a little sharp right there. So, I will do one more layer on him, at least on that side. And we're going to stop messing with it. Alright, so I just want the thinnest amount on this back. I don't want to go crazy. I don't want a big dome on it. Like the front already has a pretty decent sized dome, so that's why I just kind of want to keep these simple, easy peasy, nothing crazy. And I can tell you already, having it on the tape is definitely going to be easier. It would have been easier, but we are where we are. I'm going to just roll along with it. There is a bubble. Not burn myself. And then because I have a good hold of this, I'm just going to go ahead and lay it on the tray. Get that ready to go in. Not forget that this one has resin on it too. I almost stuck my finger right in. Silly me. I'm kind of going in a circular motion that's helping it get into the little cracks of where I scuffed it up from when I sanded and Dremeled it. I will tell you the Dremel is worth every penny. I had done some pieces, not UV resin, but regular resin, and used just like sandpaper or a sanding block. Oh, was awful. It just takes so much time on like the edges of coasters. It was miserable. I do not recommend that. That was early on in my resin journey, but I definitely would not suggest doing that. I would suggest just go ahead and invest in a Dremel tool, or I don't even know if that one's actually called I think it is a Dremel tool, but sometimes they call them a multi-purpose tool. Essentially, it's a Dremel. You can get them with a lot of accessories. My husband has a nice one in his wood shop, but this one's pretty cheap. But it does the job. Alright, we're going to go 3 minutes on those because I want those to cure up nicely. These are really nice, actually. They're coming along. Like I said, they are going to take some work. They are just going to be ones that are going to be in several videos because they're not going to be like I can go and put hardware on them tomorrow. These others are coming along nicely too. I think this one, probably one more round and it will be done. These ones I could probably pull off and flip them. It's when that resin runs over that it's kind of a pain, but that's okay. It's just going to take more practice even for me to not have it run over. It's going to take more practice to get this off. Goodness gracious. Okay. I'm like, we can do this. We can be stronger than the tape. My gracious. Maybe. Maybe I am that tired. Oh. I'm going to have to leave my, see that big old bubble? Leave my bottle upside down, I have a feeling. And again, I don't want a super ton on the back of these, but I do want just another layer. And these ones that I'm on right now, they're getting to that point where they don't need a ton. We're just kind of doing a dome. So the doming, I know some people have asked this on like my resin sites that I follow. Doming is just honestly bringing your resin to your edge without going over. And it provides a nice dome on top of your piece. It provides a nice finished look for your piece. You can dome earrings. You can dome coasters, trays. I mean, doming can be used in a lot of like in any resin project really to give that final finished look. You can do it with regular resin. The same concept, you're just getting it to the edge without overflowing, making sure that you didn't leave a spot in the center with a gap of no coverage, because if that were the case, it would definitely, you would end up not doming. You would have a little cavern. Oh, these are looking nice. I think this might be the front on these. These ones have confused me a little, because that flower, this is definitely the front side, but then maybe I will leave that up to, you know, sometimes I overthink these things, because that's who I am. I tend to sit there and overthink things and be a perfectionist at stuff, and not always a bad thing. It can, in art, I would be honest with you and say that it can be very challenging, because I am definitely by far my worst critic. And where I overthink it, then I'm sitting here going, well, which side would be front? Which side would I do as the front? And should I have done something different? And would I do something different? Reality is you know what? Whoever wears them can decide which side they want showing to the front. Why am I overthinking it, right? That's my pep talk to myself, y'all. You joined for the journey. Alright. So, we're going to take these in here. We're going to do them 3 minutes as well. Just so that they can cure up good. So, I'm going to stand up so that I can make sure that I bring these to the camera. They're not showing very well on there, so let's do. So I'm hoping that you can see how beautiful these are. And looking at them, they are so clear, y'all. And I don't know if that comes through really on the video just because the camera can't focus properly. But these are gorgeous. Super clear. I gotta do a little bit of cleanup on the front. Not sure what happened with this one. Oh, I bet you I did the same thing that this one I did. I scuffed it when I was doing the scissors. Yep, I just didn't realize it. Besides that, my goodness, these are gorgeous. They are, chef's kiss. I'm loving them. So, since we're here, I'm not going to go much longer here for you guys. One, because I do have a full-time job and I have to sleep. Because I'm a very cranky person if I don't get my sleep. But, since we're here, we're just going to do the thinnest layer possible. This guy I'll do a little bit more just on that blue. And then, because I actually have the resin coming out, I'm just gonna. This one's getting closer. It really is. Oh, I'm probably way too close to that light. See how easy? I swear, like, you know, you can put a label on anything, I guess, these days. But my daughter, my oldest, was like, Mommy, you just have this thing with crafts. You just bounce from one thing to another. And like you're in this stage for a little bit, and then you move to that stage, and then you go to that stage. And of course, I don't get rid of my old stages supplies because I will come back to those. I mean, when I was a teenager, I used to bead a ton, and over the years, I've acquired quite a few beads, and I've saved them. Like if I haven't used them for something, I just might use them for something someday. So I still have a lot from that. And then, goodness, I love to diamond paint. I love to cross stitch. I love to sew. I have a Cricut. I don't have the maker, but I do have the Air 2, and that's a lot of fun. And then I have the Cricut Joy. I'm trying to think. There's definitely more. Obviously, UV resin, regular resin. I'm trying to think. Yeah, it was definitely too close to that light. It got really tacky. But I'm not super worried. It's not the last layer, so it'll be fine. I should pick these up really quick. I can't tell if that one is. I think it's in the cured surface below another layer. So yeah. Anyway, oh, I've done clay, and I'm excited to get back into some clay things. I did that a lot when I was a kid. And I've seen some really awesome things lately with clay, so I plan to do some things with that. You know, yeah, a little bit of everything. I'll do, Mod Podge, decoupaging. That was a big one. I still have all that. I have stamping, card making stuff, which with the Cricut is really fun. Just, I mean, a variety, y'all. It's insane. Okay, so let's see. So see how cute this is, and then that side's really cute too. So I don't know which side would be. So this side's more domed for sure, as if this was going to be the front. But I really think it's this side that should be the front because of the way the flowers are faced. So I wish upon a star. No. Oh, put my flash on my camera. Look at that. See, so yeah, so that's the more dome side. So what I might do with these is I might dome this side up a little bit more, just because that's really the front for sure. Oh my goodness, it's so pretty. And obviously I have some edging to clean up. Let me pull this other one up here. I can't do it one-handed though, because that tape is so sticky. All right, here's the other one. So yeah, this is the front side. I definitely have some micro bubbles, and I think some of the fogginess is also just from the tape on there and my scuffing it. But this is the domed side, but really should be the back side. So this is going to get domed up. And then it'll be almost 3D. In a sense, both sides will be pretty well domed, which is really pretty. So there's those two. And then I'm going to take these off the tape. One thing I learned from the last time is that if you leave it on the tape does leave kind of a residue, I think. And I think that's why some of them felt tacky. It was either that the resin didn't fully cure or that tape just got too sticky and it stuck to them. These are stunning as well. Now, because I did turn on my flash, you're getting a little bit of a glare. So I apologize, but the colors come out so much better with that light on. So, and you can maybe see like how these ones came out really pretty crystal clear. There's a few bubbles in there, but I truly think that they look and make the piece. I'll clean that up too. We'll put resin on it in the next video. We'll do a little more cleanup on them and then add more resin. And like these didn't get their backs resined. I'm just looking at this one like, yeah, no, this is definitely the front side. As is, yeah, as is this one. Oh, they are just absolutely stunning. I mean, I'm not trying to be biased by any means, but maybe I am. Now that we got the flash on, let's show these ones. See how cute and pretty these are? Oh my goodness gracious. I am in love. So there's the back side. It's more flat, but that's still really pretty. These ones, the back side isn't as like noticeable that they're the back side. They could really be the front side, but this side is definitely more. And you can see, especially in this one right now, you can see some of those bubbles, but I really think it just makes it look, I'm not a big fan of bubbles usually, but I really kind of like these ones. It just makes it look like they were kissed by some rain before they got thrown in earrings. That's how it makes me feel. All right, let's look at these since we know that we're going to be working on these still a lot. And they're really stuck to the tape to where that tape is just falling apart. Which is ironic because that was tape that I just did this round. But it's really stuck because of the overflow. And that's okay. Deal with that later. Let's look at these. So, they're looking good for sure. These are the front sides. They are, sorry I bounced y'all. Go on a little bouncy ride. I could be wrong.